Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome back to Shudder Horror Weekend. Apologies for kind of stretching this out today. I meant to do this. So my plan was I did Influencer, right? Then I want to watch a couple of videos. Usually it's I want to eat lunch, but I had a late breakfast, so I didn't really have lunch. I had a snack later, but you know what it was is I woke up this morning. This happens to me. I was off today. So I woke up at about 6 o'clock this morning, having to go sit on the throne, if you know what I mean by that. And while doing that, I got distracted by something on Instagram. By the time that got done, it was one of those little short drama things. I ended up finding, I'm not going to download the app, but I ended up watching it on YouTube. They had the parts all on there. And by the time I was done with that, it was almost 8 o'clock. I'm like, well, I was planning on laying back down, but I think I'm pretty much awake now, so I got up. So I made my breakfast, put on an influencer, got that done, watched a couple of videos, and I'm sitting here and I'm just that. I'm like, I'm tired. And by this point it was afternoon, it was almost 1, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna just lay down for a nap. So I took a nap. Then of course after you wake up, you wanna watch something to wake up to. So I watched a couple more videos. Then I finally put this on. So now it's 6:30 Central Time, my time, that I'm recording this. So I will probably not be able to do another one. My plan was to do influencers and at least one more today. It's Joe Bob night. So I probably won't be able to do any more tonight, but I'll promise to do more tomorrow. Way more. Tomorrow and Sunday. Because I've done 6 so far. I want to do more than that. I want to do, more. I think I usually go for 13, but I'm trying to do more. In fact, I want to set a goal of 15 right now. So that means 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 9 more. I do 5 tomorrow and 4 on Sunday. Push myself. Tomorrow is also Saturday night's main event. But if Big LT doesn't try to rope me into talking during it, I can just put that on mute and watch a movie. Well, we'll see. He hasn't messaged me yet. Probably tomorrow sometime he will. And I'm like, but that one doesn't go as late as I gotta do another one after it, I guess. But anyway, Influencers. Brought to us by the same writing and directing team as the first one, I forgot the name. And it is a sequel to the first. I liked the first one. I thought it was good. It subverted my expectations. Like, when I thought, oh, she was going to win. And I thought the ending was kind of stupid, but it's nothing compared to this movie's ending. It's a very much, fuck it kind of ending. Yeah, so this movie follows CW for, I think, and for anyone, I went, they really did it, because for anyone who watched the first one, I thought, CW, or like the channel, that was fun. They didn't need to reference it. Someone would, you mean like the channel, CW, okay. Literally, in this movie, when she said, "Oh, her name is CW," someone goes, "Oh, like the channel." Okay, you didn't need to actually reference it. You didn't need it was enough for us. CW, like the channel. You need to actually reference it. This movie started off weird for me. I don't think they needed to start it off this way. It's like, in full context of what this scene leads to, I don't know if they needed. It's technically medium res, but it really doesn't have anything by being the first scene of this, because this is a character. What it is, we have a woman who's played by Georgia Campbell, we later find out is Ariana. Later, like much later in the movie. We don't know this woman. We never met this woman. And the thing is, we start with, she's in her car, she's hyperventilating because of something. She comes home, she takes a knife, slice the throat. Yeah. And then falls down, and then we start the movie. And I went, what the hell does that have to do with anything? And later, when we come back to this, I had to actually go on my phone and restart the movie to make sure I didn't miss something. Because there's a whole thing. We'll get to it. So then we cut to CW, who is now going to the name Catherine, with her girlfriend. So I think that adds more to the fact that she probably did not sexually assault Ryan in the first one. Though I'm saying, even if she's gay, she can still do jerky. You know what I mean? You know, just because you like eating a taco don't mean you can't play with the sausage. I had an analogy, it all went different way, but also I think she may actually be bisexual because she does try to come on to this dude at one point, but there's no indication that she would actually have done anything. It seems like a test of some sort, but I don't know. So she's living her life in France with her girlfriend Diane, who's French, when they come across another influencer named Charlotte. And Charlotte's another one of those where I just wouldn't... She's one of those, oh my God, darling, it's so wonderful. And he's like... Or is that... She's not Ariana, is she? Now I need to look it up. Hold on. It's muted. Good. Hold on. So this was a weird one, being that it just came out. There's no spoilers in the plot synopsis. It's just a quick summary. So I wasn't able to skim like I usually do. You know? You may think, well, you skim Wikipedia, isn't that spoiling? Well, yes and no. See, there's a difference of what you read in a synopsis and what you see executed on screen. You can read something like, she chases after her with a knife and stabs her. But when you see it on screen, it could be prolonged. Like, you can read something and it takes you a few seconds to read, but it could take 10 minutes to unfold on a screen. So it's different. It's not exactly, it's spoiling, but it's not like you're just reading it. You're not, why is it telling me influencer? Curtis David Harbour, yeah, he still directed it. Georgina Campbell, not Georgia, excuse me. And I think she's the British lady at the beginning here, not... Yeah, she's Charlotte, excuse me. I believe it's Veronica Long is Ariana, but they don't have... The last two they don't have... I'm assuming Jonathan Whitesell is Douche Guy, which I call him because I don't remember his name. Dylan Playfair, with his long-ass hair, is in this as Douche Guy's best friend. And then I believe Veronica Long is Ariana. I don't know his name. I really don't. And I don't really care. He's another one of those kind of influencer people that you don't want anything to do. He's like, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so but when you get the Douche Guy, that's when the plot gets kind of convoluted. It becomes a one-upmanship kind of thing. Anyway, so she's living her best life in France when they come across Charlotte, who is another influencer who's starting to cause problems because, like, I'm not saying that anyone deserves to die, but, like, they're a couple, they're celebrating an anniversary. Charlotte offers this thing. CW says no. And then the next thing you know, Diana's like, oh, she told us this and I said we would take it. And she said, but she already said no. So she pushes this chick off a cliff, and like she's still alive. This is when I was like, no, because like she pushes her off. She takes her to this like there's ruins and pushes her off of it, and then she goes down there and she's like, I'm like, no, you wouldn't survive that. There's no way you would survive that. But she kills her. And then she goes back to Dylan. And Dylan then starts to find out the truth. Because she, I don't know, she goes on her phone or something. She figures out the truth. Diane. I said Dylan? Diane. So they have a fight and she strangles Diane. And then, this is now 30 minutes into the film. So I'm watching this, and the credits start, and I'm like, oh, we're doing it the same way. Because it's the same director. So he's using the same style. Including something later that we'll get to, but it makes more sense in this than what they did in the first one. But anyway. So then we cut, and now we follow, because much like the first one, where we followed Madison until she was left on the island, and we followed CW. We followed CW until she chokes her girlfriend out, kills her. Now we're following Madison, who got off the island, as you remember. But I do like that they actually acknowledge this, because I said this at the end of my review, where I'm like, well, she's on a boat, but her boyfriend's dead body's on the boat, so how's that gonna work? Turns out, Diane in the suitcase is also on the boat. Or not Diane. It turns out Jessica in the suitcase is also on the boat. And she was found with them, but she was cleared of all charges. And when they went back to the island, they found 2 other bodies, but not CW. And I'm sitting here, and I'm going, so the only reason why she was cleared of the charges is so the movie would happen, right? Because I'm sorry, you're found with 2 bodies. You say there was someone the person who killed them is on the island. When you get there, they find 2 more dead bodies and no other person. And they even say in this that her fingerprints were the only fingerprints found. Which I find to be bullshit. I mean, in this film, well, I feel like he's directly doing this, where she covers the fingerprints, but I don't remember her doing that at all in the last one. But whatever. But she was let go. She's also redhead now. And she's on this podcast. One of the podcast hosts is Osric Chow. So he's got some kind of contract with Shudder too. I don't know. He was in Superhost. That movie keeps coming back to me. I decided to watch it. And now there's Sarah Canning's been in 3 of these movies. And Osric Chow in 2. What are they? Anyway. So now she's sort of just been shit on by these people and hate stuff. She's like, you know what? I need to find her. So I don't remember how she finds her. She finds blog posts from Charlotte and somehow connects it to. She finds a picture at a resort where CW and Diane were in the background. Right. So she starts to go around, and then we're introduced to Douche Guy, as is just like doing his own thing, and he's got his girlfriend Ariana, and they're trying to improve the brand or whatever. And he goes up to the club with Dylan Playfair, his best friend dude, and that's where she's there. And was she there looking for him, or did it just sort of happen? Because, like, he goes up and starts talking to her, she wants nothing to do with him, and then it just sort of connects. They make a connection, and we see that, like, CW is living in the mountains somewhere, and she's got an AI version of Diane. Because at one point, she goes to the hotel they were at, and the guy says, well, I can't give you information. Well, I'm looking for someone with she got a birthmark and then a blonde. Well, what are their names? And because CW is not her real name, it's not what she used. She doesn't know what name CW used. So she can't tell. But later she's able to contact Diane's mother, so she figured out who Diane was. So, I don't know, she did. And so then a lot of this was hard for me to follow, so just staying in. Eventually, CW figures out, because this plot needs to be more convoluted than it is. When they introduce the douche guy, that's when it becomes more convoluted. Because if you're a fan of the first one, like I am, and you're waiting for a second one, which I didn't really have to wait because I just watched it the same day, you want a confrontation. You want this confrontation between CW and Madison. And once I realized she was still in this movie, I'm like, cool, we're going to do this. Then they introduced douche guy. And this movie is an hour and 50 minutes. And it's clear this guy's subplot is only in here to push the runtime. Because you take it out, and you could just have her tracking CW, and then CW figuring it out, and eventually leading them to cross. That's all you need. But we got this douche guy subplot, which ends in stupidity for me anyway. We'll get there. So she seduces him, like I said earlier, but he declines, says he'd never cheat on his girlfriend. And when he said it, I went, so she's cheating on him, right? It's going to be found out. She's cheating on him. And sure enough, CW starts looking in the computer and finds a video, why they would record it, of her fucking some dude. So I'm like, okay. So then she sent that out. And I'm like, so that explains. It's going to go out to the internet. And she's all hyperventilating. That's going to lead to the key, which it does. So they're playing this dude. She is trying to... he thinks he's playing both of them, right? And then you got Madison, who's playing him to get to CW. CW's playing him to kind of frame Madison. I think that's what she's trying to do. And so it all ends up at the place where from the beginning of the movie, the very first shot was, very first scene, not shot. CW walks in and finds her dead and blames Madison, who is also standing there with the knife. It always confuses me how in movies people are so fucking stupid. Why would you grab the knife? You see a dead person laying there. Bloody knife. Let me pick that up. That is absolutely stupid. You don't do that. Why was she holding the knife? Maybe she thought CW did it in one of self-defense. But if you are going on a revenge mission, and you know CW is trying to counter you, she knows you're around, or wouldn't you not touch it? Then you know that she's trying to incriminate me. Because there's a whole bunch of people who thinks that she did it. You know, she was somehow proving that she didn't do it. The murders in the first one, I mean. Then douche guy shows up. And he thinks that it was Madison, because that's CW he's pushing at. So he confronts her and walks right into the knife. Because he's a fucking idiot. So now he's like, why? You did that. You walked into it. She's just like this, holding it. You walked into it. Then we get the confrontation that amounts to, and I attribute this, as Joey Styles would say, cat fight! Yeah, a cat fight between the two. They're beating each other up, smashing each other. Not one of them thinking of using the goddamn knife. They're just brawling. For all intents and purposes. But eventually, Madison gets the better of it, knocks her out. Does not kill her, because she needs her alive to prove it. So she knocks her out and leaves. douche guy comes to and wakes her up. Then she stabs him because he starts to realize something else is going on. He sees the sex video of Ariana, somehow knows she's the one that leaked it. Well, he saw a video of her in his house. You do it in my house. And then that. So she stabs him. And then Madison has made it back to the CW shack, her little hideout, the AI Diane, and use her computer to hack into his computer. And so it recorded her stabbing douche guy. So that's all over the place. Now, before we get to the ending of this movie, I want to cut back. Because I didn't talk about a certain thing in the first movie, because I didn't think it was relevant, but I need to talk about it now. It's still not relevant, but they do something similar here. So in the first one, after Ryan takes over as the main character for a little bit, it cuts back to him meeting Madison. A flashback where he kind of gets her into doing the social influencer thing. They do the same thing here. But where that film takes you out of what you're in the middle of watching, where it's like, why do we need to see, oh, he talked her into being a social media influencer. Who cares? Do we really need to know that he was responsible? You can kind of tell. In this one, after a while, it cuts back to after she killed Diane. And they're like, what happened after that, what she did? So, because she actually did love Diane. She was watching the video where she said that where they had this sex. And they said, I love you. I love you. Yeah, so that was a real relationship. She wasn't using her, but she thought the other social media lady that Charlotte was trying to use them. So, you know. And I guess the movie's called Influencers. So you had to. She's not really an influencer, but it's Madison getting revenge. And then you got Charlotte, then you got Ariana, and you got Douche Guy. So anyway, after she's killed Douche Guy, Dylan Playfair shows up, the best friend, with a group of other people. And I started laughing because this is so fucking ridiculous. She stands there like, what are you doing here? Sees blood on her, everything, and she just starts hacking him. And I'm like, okay, first of all, back the Ford truck up here. Okay. You walk in. You see her covered in blood, your best friend's dead, Ariana's dead. Leave. This is what I would be like. Hold on. I'm actually going to put on my shorts because I'm not wearing shorts, underwear. But for a demonstration, I don't want you to see my underwear. So, alright. So here's the situation. He walks in with this other group of people behind him, and he's like, "What's going on? Here's what should have happened." I would leave, get in my car, and drive out of there. No, he just stands there like, oh, what's going on? And so he gets slashed to death. And what is even more ridiculous with this is not only was he just standing there and now he's just getting slashed to death, the other people behind him are just going, oh, I'm like, run, leave. What are you doing? And that's how the movie ends. And remember, I think she's still recording this on the computer. So, like, because it's all over social media, everyone's on reminds me of Superhost again, where I don't remember her name in that movie, but Sarah Canning's character was trying to upload that video for help, and everyone was saying it was fake. But you hear like, oh my god, what would she do? They just didn't, right? That made me think. Yeah, because I saw Superhost. So how is that proving anything? Because people could just say it was fake, right? So I like this, but I liked it less than the first one, actually. I'll give it a high middle of the road. It was fine. It just, the whole douche guy thing, which I don't remember his name. I really don't. That just makes it convoluted. I know it's influencers, so you gotta have, sort of thing. But you can have more than one, sure. Just call it influencer too, and get rid of this. That only thing, because once you introduce him, and they're both, because when it's like, oh, she's gonna use him to get to CW, okay. When the CW shows up, use him to get to Madison. They're both playing him, and he's in the middle of this, and it's kind of confusing. I'm sitting here watching this, going, what is really going on? Because I'm like, and for the character just end up dead anyway. It's like, I don't know. When the movie started and you see her, I just like, what kind of opening is this? Who is this? We don't know this person. So like, why not just start out with the whole Charlotte thing? Why do we need to see this scene? Why did we need this? And then we cut back to it later. Because like I said, there's a whole thing. I had to go back and rewatch the opening because it's like when they come in and then he shows up, they're blaming each other. And I'm like, okay, so did I miss something? Did Madison really do it and she's trying to blame CW? Did CW do it and she's blaming Madison? No, this was a schmooshmide. I'm like, how did that actually happen? Because I'm like, didn't she do it herself? She did. And I don't know, I was just confused. Happens. It happens. But yeah, it's the middle of the road for me. So, what are your thoughts on influencers? Then we can help so much. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.